Philip, we just heard there how Donald Trump is insisting there were these problems with the voting, particularly the early voting, these mail-in votes. What's his issue with those votes?
Right, well, if you think back to what Donald Trump has been saying right from the very start of this election campaign, he's been saying there's going to be the biggest fraud in the history of the United States, and it's going to be because of mail-in voting. There's going to be stuffing in the ballot boxes, and it's all going to go against my re-election. So there's no proof of this, of course, and this is something, the mail-in voting technique has been part of the US election campaign system for decades. So Donald Trump has come up with this idea that anybody who votes via post is going to be committing basically some kind of fraud as far as the election campaign is concerned. And as a result of the fact that he seems to be losing in the polls right now and losing in the electoral vote, this has put this to the forefront to become even more of something that Donald Trump is claiming. So if you actually look a little bit in more detail about where this is all coming from, you can understand why Donald Trump is advocating this. So there are two slides for you. The first one is on Pennsylvania, which is one of the hotly disputed states, one of the swing states. We still don't have a result from there. But if you look at the absentee vote in Pennsylvania, that's the vote through mail-in balloting. 87% of those who mailed in their votes are susceptible to vote for Joe Biden, with only 13% for Donald Trump. If you look at the election day in Pennsylvania, then 39% who went to the polling stations would have voted for Biden and 60% for Trump. That's an estimation that came from ABC and the Washington Post back in September. So that already enthused Donald Trump to predict that there will be more mail-in voting in favour of Biden than in favour of Trump. So therefore, why not try to claim there was going to be electoral fraud to undermine the vote for Joe Biden? Now, in the second slide, if you look at the deadlines to receive mail-in ballots, they're in the 6 closest states won by Donald Trump in 2016. In Arizona, Florida and Wisconsin, those mail-in ballots had to be received by Election Day, the 3rd of November. But in 3 others, Michigan, North Carolina and Pennsylvania, the mail-in ballots had to be received with a stamp saying they had been posted by Election Day, but there was a period after Election Day in which those votes could be taken into account, normally 3 days. So now today we found out that Donald Trump has already started legal proceedings in Michigan and Pennsylvania against that vote count, and has asked in Wisconsin for the vote count to be done again because he feels that he has been diddled out of the votes that he was due in this election campaign. All of this to say basically that I don't accept losing this election, and therefore I'm going to take everything as far as I can to court to try to get back as many votes as I can.
Now, on election night, when Donald Trump spoke, he said that he would take this to the Supreme Court without really giving any basis. Could he even legally do that? Is there a path to that?
The answer to that is no. And even members within his own Republican Party have said, look, just calm down a little bit. We've got to wait for the counting to take place. You can't start accusing people of electoral fraud because we don't even know the outcome of the election. Now, there's also another confusing point here, is that Donald Trump was saying in his speech, where he already claimed an early election victory yesterday, that he wanted the voting to stop. That was confusing because what he actually means is the counting he wants to stop. The voting has stopped. It stopped on Election Day. So he's wanting the voting to stop. He's saying, I'm going to go to court over it. He can't go straight to the Supreme Court. That's got to go through the different states who then have to go to the Supreme Court. They tried in Pennsylvania to stop that vote from taking place over the Election Day. Remember the 3 extra days there are there in Pennsylvania to count those votes with the stamp that they were posted before Election Day. They failed to do that, so that vote count is still going on.
Philip, thank you so much for that. France 24's Philip Turle.